Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is well. I wanted to share a little bit about acceptance and the power that it has had in my healing journey. I yeah, acceptance has been this reoccurring theme in my life recently, and a long time ago, I never had any acceptance, or very little acceptance. It was always about control. I always had to be in control of people, places, and things, and I couldn't accept it if it wasn't my way or if it wasn't a way that I wanted. And obviously, coming from a background of trauma in my life, specifically like abandonment trauma, and one thing I had trouble accepting was relationships, and this was very painful, caused a lot of suffering in my life. I couldn't accept when a relationship was over, and I would try to do everything in my power to control the situation, to try to make that relationship work, even though it was not working, and I knew it was not working, but I couldn't accept that. And that caused a lot of pain and a lot of suffering in my life. And I changed who I was, or I tried to change who I was and lost myself in relationships because I was trying to be somebody else to save a relationship, because I couldn't accept the fact that it just wasn't working, and it wasn't the right relationship for me. Granted, I learned a lot of things from my previous relationships, which I'm grateful for today, and I can accept that fact that I had to learn those really hard lessons in my life to be able to grow and to have some healing in my life today. But it wasn't always the case. I didn't always have that acceptance that I do today. And I just, if like I said, if things weren't going my way or weren't working out according to my plan, how I wanted them to work out, well, then here I was again trying to like control the situation. Like, okay, well, this didn't work out, but what can I do to like kind of like figure something else out in my life? And I can think of so many examples of like trying to do this in my life, whether it's like trying to get into a certain class at school, or trying to get a certain job, and trying to like control the situations. And then when it doesn't work out, I'm like trying to do something else. And it's just exhausting, like not having acceptance in my life and trying to be controlling and control everything. Oh, it's just really exhausting. And but I'm so grateful, because now that I have some acceptance, definitely a lot more than I used to, more acceptance in my life, I can see like how far I have actually come in my life, in my journey, in my healing journey. And now I'm able to like if in a relationship, whether it's intimate relationship, a family relationship, a friend relationship, I'm able to like accept people for exactly where they're at now, but I don't have to change who I am to like be friends with that person or have that person in my life. I don't need to change who I am. I don't need to try to change who they are. And I just need to be accepting of that. And that doesn't mean I need to be, accepting of like people like, violating boundaries that I've set. And, I can be like, I accept you for where you're at on your journey, but that's not, these things are not acceptable in my life right now. And this type of behavior, whatever it may be. But, I can see where like the healing is happening and the growth is happening in my life. And I'm so grateful that I can see it today, and I'm so grateful that I have more acceptance today, because my life is so much more peaceful with acceptance, and just being accepting of like people, places, and things around me, and just knowing that we're all on this journey together. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful day.